Hey indie game fans, welcome to the video. April was a fantastic month since we had a bumper crop of great indie games, so here are some quick picks worth checking out. The previously covered The Adventure Pals is a light-hearted platformer with a weird and wonderful world, which, in summary, is bright, cheery, and simply a pleasant experience. Monster Prom is a multiplayer dating simulator where you have to find a date for prom. The idea is ingenious and it looks to be a pretty unique experience. Dead in Vinland is a survival management game with a Viking family using turn-based combat, RPG elements, and narrative choices. Basingstoke is a stealth-based roguelite with aliens and zombies. It features a simple-to-understand crafting system, no wikis needed, and has some remarkable emergent gameplay systems. Also, running and hiding are viable strategies for this roguelite, which is quite fascinating. And finally, The Swords of Ditto is a roguelite action game featuring stunning art and Zelda-like gameplay. It has a multitude of weapons, stickers which boost your characters, and unique gear with main and side missions for a roguelite game, which is not all that common. Moving on, here are the top 5 best indie games for April 2018. Number 5. For the King. This is a strategic RPG that mixes JRPG combat with roguelite elements. The king is dead, and your band of adventurers is tasked with finding out who is responsible. There are procedurally generated maps, missions, and events with a combat system that is largely based on dice rolls, although you can influence this in a limited capacity. It has quite a gorgeous art style and the standard brutality of roguelites, but there are also elements that allow you to unlock new landmarks, locations, items, cosmetics, etc., which gives this game a longer tail. Number 4. Minit. A top-down action game in the vein of The Legend of Zelda. The twist here is that your character only lives for 60 seconds at a time. When the time is up, you respawn at an unlocked location, but aspects like found items do persist, so you are slowly chipping away at the exploration of this world. Great concept with a number of secrets to discover. Number 3. Frostpunk.
When we end up with next to nothing.
A grim city builder by the developers of This War of Mine, you play as the ruler of the last city on Earth after essentially winter has come. This expands city building survival management through a couple of interesting decisions that you can make, such as whether to enact a law legalizing child labor, and to what extent, if done so, between safer jobs like foraging versus working in the mines. I love the aesthetic of this game, and the scenarios seem to be pretty challenging. Number 2. Tower of Time. In a world where magic and technology mix with devastating consequences, Tower of Time shakes up the CRPG or computer RPG genre through its arrow time combat system, where the action can be paused or slowed down, and positions do matter since abilities do have MMO-like cones of attack. Each battle is supposed to be more of a tactical puzzle rather than reliance on stats, equipment, and dice rolls, and there is a very dense and lore-rich world created as is expected of such games. And number 1, Masters of Anima.
Time has come for you to learn the magics of our land. Your very first step in becoming a master of Anima.
So for full disclosure, being largely a PC gamer my entire life, I've never touched a Pikmin game, but I've always heard great things about them. Masters of Anima seems to have taken a great deal of inspiration from that series, since you are able to summon and command an army of magical guardians on your quest to save your beloved from the terrible Tsar and his army of golems. As with many titles on this list, the visuals are a standout feature, and the combination of the RTS-like gameplay and fantastical world created makes this the #1 game of the month. And this is my list of the top 5 best indie games for April 2018. Please subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, follow my Steam curator, and check out the subreddit to keep up with the best indie games, and I will see you in the next video.